everyone. This is Pancho from Frontier Performance. I'm the CEO. With me, I've got a gentleman that I've known for a very, very long time, Gerard.
G'day, how are you?
I'm very, very well. Gerard and I go way back. How long has it been? 5-6 years?
Yeah,
at
I'd
least.
say. Yeah, definitely.
And when I first met you, you were working at. Well, tell us where you're working at.
I was working in real estate at a company called LJ Hooker, Willoughby Artarmon.
Yeah, that was with John McManus, right?
Yeah, with John McManus.
Yeah, he's a top operator as well.
Yes, extremely, and I learned a lot from him as well.
Yeah.
For my career.
So what's actually happened since then? You're no longer involved in real estate?
No, so I'm not in real estate anymore. I've moved into medical sales.
Okay.
So I did real estate for 4 years.
Yes.
Nearly 5 years, and I think out of those 4 or 5 years, we worked together for 4 years.
Yes, that was
So
a long time. Yeah.
And then I moved into medical sales because before real estate,
Yeah.
I was in the health and fitness industry
Okay.
and strength and rehabilitation.
Right.
So that plus sales
Yes.
from real estate
Yeah.
kind of makes medical sales.
Great.
So that's how I got into it.
Okay. So tell me, what is it that you learned all those years ago that is actually helping you now in your present job, and why that's been so helpful for you?
Definitely goal setting and having a reason behind
The goal.
why you set those goals.
Yes.
So you might say you want a big house, which is great,
Yeah.
or you want to earn X amount of dollars,
Yeah.
but when you're having a bad day or a slump,
Yes.
that's not necessarily going to pick you up.
Yeah.
The reasoning and the emotional attachment behind the goal
Mm-hmm.
is what will get you through
Yeah.
the bad days,
Yeah.
which I think is very important.
Yeah. I think we have to be prepared. Dealing with adversity is what makes the difference.
Yes.
How long do you stay here? And do you stay here for, an hour, a day, a week,
Yeah.
a month?
Yeah.
And invariably, if you stay, the longer you stay, the more it costs you.
Yes.
Not only in dollars, but in your sort of happiness factor as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. So yeah, just kind of, obviously you're not bulletproof, but like in any sales, you get rejections
Yes.
every single day.
Yes.
And coming from real estate, those rejections were a lot more severe
Yeah.
and they're a lot more harsh
Yes.
than being let down by someone who's in the health industry,
Yeah.
because generally they're in the health industry to help people,
Mm-hmm.
and they're very kind, nurturing people.
Yes.
So it was a real difference for me
Mm-hmm.
being told no
Yes.
by a nursing unit manager
Yes.
than an older lady who I was the third person to knock on the door that day.
We're telling you to go away.
Yeah.
Okay. In a nice way.
In a nice way.
couple
In a
of
nice way.
positive breakthroughs you learnt when I was training you. Besides the goals, was there something else regarding? We talked a lot about reading people, right?
Yeah, that's
Reading
massive.
people. That's massive, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
big
Tell me.
time. I was actually thinking about it
Yeah.
coming over here because now it's just second nature
Wow.
to me. And one thing that I find that works extremely well in building relationships,
Yes.
especially with doctors,
Yes.
is listening to words that they would use.
Yes.
Whether it's, it might be, I see,
Yes.
can I see this?
Yes.
Or can I touch this?
Mm-hmm.
And then replying with
The same.
words.
Yes.
Because whether they're a visual person,
Mm-hmm.
etc.
Okay. Cool.
I use that every day.
Really?
Yeah.
And
And it was funny because I know I use it,
Yeah.
but
You don't know you're using it.
I don't know I'm using it until I just thought about it coming from my last meeting just then.
Yeah. That's interesting because I have a lot of people who I do training with, and they can't put a reason why they're actually learning something.
Yeah.
They don't actually understand the way I deliberately train is
Yes.
not to train you consciously.
Yes.
I overload your system and you think, oh my God, there's too much coming in,
Yeah.
but it's actually going in,
Yeah, it does.
isn't it? Huh?
Yeah,
And you
it
don't
does.
even know why it's going in.
No.
It
You
just
get your
goes in.
workbook and
Yeah.
yeah, it's good.
Did you find that I spend a lot of time on theory, on giving you the concept behind the information?
Yeah.
Did you find that valuable so you can understand it and the reason why it works?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I was lucky enough to work with you,
Yes.
as I said, for 4 years.
Yes.
and just the aspect of learning what people say
Yes.
and why they say it. For instance,
Yeah.
you know, we spent a number of sessions just on that.
Yeah.
So it wasn't, you know, we'd spend, our sessions went for an hour.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we spent 10 minutes on this,
Right.
10 minutes on that.
Right.
Like it was very structured.
Very detailed.
The aspects of the next set of training
Yes.
kind of flowed into what we've learned from the previous weeks,
Mhm.
which made it all flow really nicely.
Okay, that's cool. I'm glad you're applying it in the medical field.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to others if you were considering this form of what I call personal development?
Yeah. Well, I think any personal development, whether it's sales, health and fitness,
Mhm.
like it's exceptionally important.
Yeah.
You do need, I think, as humans, like we do like to grow.
Yes.
We don't like to be stagnant.
Yeah.
And it's important to get to your goals.
Yeah.
So I think the goals would definitely be one.
Yeah.
Aside from that, I know it might sound strange to someone's staff that we're
Yes.
seeing like a sales psychologist,
Yes.
but it just makes sense. It does. And it's not like we're trying to trick people or we're just getting down to their level.
Yeah.
And another big thing I learned from you is just kind of slowing everything down
Yes.
and calming everything down.
Yes.
And listen to their problems
Yeah.
and come up with a solution, because that's
Yeah.
all we're doing.
Yeah. But we can't come up with a solution until we actually listen.
Yes, and they might not tell you the problem straight away,
Yeah.
especially if they've had 3 or 4 reps in that day,
Yeah.
or if they're a cardiac surgeon
Yeah.
and they've had an emergency bypass or something like that
Yes.
that's just come in.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily really want to tell you about their day, or they don't even really want to see you, to be fair.
Yeah.
So you've got to learn how to adapt to that.
Mhm.
And I got that again from you.
Mhm.
And I think there's a lot of people out there who would probably be put off by that.
Mhm.
They would start stuttering.
Yes.
That would
Get nervous.
They would get nervous.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then that meeting would be ruined.
Yeah.
And that surgeon might not know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But you could have been very knowledgeable about your product.
Yeah.
And you could have had a very good product, but you could have ruined your chances.
Yeah.
So I think it's you have to come in with an open mind.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, it's just learning how we
Communicate, isn't it?
communicate and how our mind works.
Yeah, it's interesting. Most people don't give enough time and attention to actually understanding how the mind actually works.
Yeah, and it's very powerful.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Isn't it, eh? And you're working in the medical area, you would see how certain people's egos get in the way
Yeah, big time.
and how it prevents them from actually changing.
Yeah.
Tell me how that works in your industry.
So, of course, like in any industry, I guess,
Yeah.
the top of the tree,
Mm-hmm.
stereotypically, have an ego.
Yeah.
Some obviously don't,
Yeah.
some do.
Yes.
But I think if you really believe in your product,
Yeah.
and you're really passionate about your product,
Yes.
and you can find out problems that the doctors or the nurses are having,
Yes.
and you can come up with a solution,
Yes.
you can give them good customer service,
Yeah.
and just listen to them,
Yeah.
it will make the world of difference.
Yeah.
And you don't know that. You're not born with this.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't come to you naturally,
Mm-hmm.
although it is natural.
Yes.
You need to be taught
Yeah.
how to do that
Mhm.
and how to adapt if you're talking to a doctor or a professor.
Yes. So
That pretty much
it's actually
isn't.
interesting you talking to me regarding you're meeting doctors who've taken 10, 15 years to get to that specialization.
Yeah.
And when we think about people who are involved in the sales industry, the amount of work that a doctor takes to actually become just a doctor
Mm.
and then a specialist on top of that to become a master,
Yeah.
the amount of time that they actually focus on a daily basis to become really good. Do you think that people in the training industry, in sales or in management and leadership, actually put enough time into this area?
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think they know the basics.
Yes.
For instance, like of a product
Yeah.
or of a procedure. I know some very, very good reps out there.
Yeah.
Who know their stuff.
Yeah.
But one thing I've learned, I think as well from being in real estate, is you need to know everything. You need to know every street, what every property sold in that street.
Yeah.
You need to know what's on the market,
Yeah.
what the other agents are quoting.
Yeah.
And bringing that into medical industry,
Yeah.
knowing all my products, knowing all the different variations,
Yes.
what they do,
Yes.
because the doctor at the end of the day
Yeah.
is relying on you,
On your knowledge.
because they don't necessarily care about the products, because they're trusting you that
Yes.
you're bringing them the best products in the world,
Yeah.
and they can't know everything and anything about every product out there.
Yeah.
So if you can come across extremely knowledgeable,
Yeah.
it's going to go a long way for you. But it's still crazy that, as you said, someone who's been
In real estate.
studying
Yes.
for 15 years
Yes.
is asking me for advice.
Yeah.
It's just bizarre.
It's very interesting because my father is a retired plastic surgeon, and I was talking to him over the weekend because I was in Auckland. I was talking to him regarding, how he sees reps coming in, and he said something to me that is, I wanted to talk to you. He said, the rep would sell me the stuff that they didn't believe in
Yeah.
because they were making better margin on it.
Yeah.
And he said and they didn't realize that it hurt the doctor through litigation.
Yeah.
And this is an important thing. But if we go back to that mastery point, I asked him when did he's a plastic surgeon, so it took him another 15 years after doing his medical degree to specialize. So he actually started only performing in-depth plastic surgery at the age of around about 46, 47.
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's crazy, isn't it, eh?
Yeah.
And I asked him, when did you think he was at the peak? He said, in my 50s.
Yeah.
He says, I can outperform a 40-year-old anytime.
Yeah.
And what most people don't understand, I suppose, is in training, especially in the type of training I do, is the devil really is in the detail.
Yes.
And you have to think about the psychology of yourself, but also of your clients. Because
Definitely.
if you don't understand that, then it's what they term in this industry, you're playing a numbers game.
Yeah.
But you're playing a fool's numbers game because you're working so damn hard to get the same result.
Yes. Definitely.
You don't, so 3 things: strategy, psychology, and execution. Any of those 3, if you don't spend enough time on mastery, you're playing a numbers game and you're going to burn yourself out. If you're wanting to learn to do things faster, but in the correct manner, then I urge you to get in touch with us.
Yes.
So
Definitely second that.
you second that?
Yeah, without, it's honestly this has changed my life.
Yes.
And I know the medical industry, just from my experience and
Yes.
speaking to people out there, is
Yeah.
screaming for something like this. Because, these are people generally who have come out of uni
Yes.
and have done a physio degree.
Yeah.
Some might have done a business degree, but
Yeah.
generally like a physio degree, a chiropractor. So
Yeah.
they're very, very smart people.
Yes.
But they haven't done too much sales training.
Yes.
Where I'm kind of the opposite.
Yes.
Where I've done a lot of sales training and I had to pick up on
The other stuff.
all the other aspects
On the medical
of
areas.
the job.
Yeah.
And sales training, I think people generally, find that anyone can do it.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
Yeah.
But there's definitely
Layers.
a difference between a good salesman or
Yeah.
saleswoman
Yeah.
and a bad one.
Yeah.
Being
Yeah.
rejected and cancelling all your appointments for the rest of the day because you're upset.
Yes.
You can't be doing that in sales
No.
because you'll get rejected every day.
That's part of the game, isn't
Yeah,
it?
and how to get into places, and they might say no to you on a Monday, But you don't know, their husband or wife could have come home on the Sunday night and said, I want a divorce, and they
Yes.
could have had a terrible day.
Yes,
Doesn't mean they're going to say no to you in a month's time.
that's right.
And these are things that I've learned from you.
A no's only a no today, right?
Exactly.
That's right.
It is, and it's not you're pushy or you're a car salesman,
Yeah,
but you know, it's just a fact of life.
yeah,
And you just need to have an important keep in touch strategy.
yeah,
And try and unpeel the layers.
yeah. The deep
Of
layers.
why they're saying no. Are
Yeah.
they just saying no because they don't have time for you that day, or you might have said something in your language
Yes,
that has upset them?
yeah,
It's very important.
great. So I want to thank everyone for listening to this post, especially Gerard for
you.
coming in here and
It's
doing
no
this.
problem.
I think if you're really wanting to become a master in this profession and succeed, I urge you to give us a call or go to our website or contact me directly. Hi. One thing I wanted to talk to you, Gerard, about, which is quite important, I suppose, for people out there to understand, is your motivation to learn.
Yeah.
Why are you so motivated to learn?
I think it just goes down to my goals are pretty crazy
Yes,
and they're pretty out there,
yes,
and I'm not going to do it being on my own,
yeah.
and I need to grow.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably the biggest reason behind it.
Right,
You know, writing them out every single day.
yes,
I keep a journal now
yes,
of I write in my journal every day
yeah,
of what I've done
yeah,
for the day,
yes,
along with my goals.
yes,
And then on a Sunday, I'll write good things.
yes.
So I call them achievements for
Wow.
the week.
You're doing it, eh?
And then I do lessons learned.
Yes,
And then at the end of the month,
Yeah.
I'll go back over my lessons learned
yeah.
and see if there's a recurring pattern
Wow.
that I need to change.
So all those
So I'm super
lectures
motivated.
I spoke about recognizing patterns,
Yeah,
you've taken it on board
100%.
and you're looking at your patterns of behavior
Yeah,
because each pattern has an economic value.
yeah, absolutely. And then you might not realize you're doing it.
Yes.
Or I could be in a slump
Yeah.
and not really realizing. And it's not just business.
Yes.
Or it's not just financial.
Yes.
It's health.
Relationships.
Relationships. Like it's everything. I write about, you know, the good times that I'm having with my partner,
Yes. Yeah.
my wife.
Yes.
And then I write the bad times.
Yes.
And then if these bad times keep popping up,
Yeah.
well, like why are they happening?
Mm.
Um,
You're an extremely inquisitive person, aren't you?
yeah.
Yes.
Well, I
Great.
think it's fascinating.
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And you can change your life
Yes.
through educating yourself.
Yeah.
Like you really can.
Mm.
You don't have to go to university, don't have to go to TAFE. Self-education, I think,
Self-development.
self-development
Mhm.
far outweighs what you can learn there,
Mhm.
because mentally, and I think you would agree that getting your goals done or getting your work done, mental aspect of it
Yes.
is at least 70 to 80%
Of the game.
of the game.
Yeah.
Your talent can be 10-20%.
It's the work you put in, right?
It's the work you put in, the hours you put in.
Yeah.
And you don't get that, or you don't get that passion or motivation without having goals, and then you don't get again that without having a proper meaning,
Yes.
an emotional attachment to achieve those.
Great. Well, there you have. Very important to be motivated about learning something, having a focus on what you're learning, why you're learning it, then applying it.
Definitely.
So we will see you soon on some other interesting videos that I've got coming up with this fine gentleman Gerard over here, and we hope to see you soon. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me either through the social media or send me an email directly at info@frontierp.com.au. Thank you very much and see you soon.
See you.